Hello everybody, welcome to the course Introduction to Public Economics. My name is Kauku. I'm going to talk first a little bit about myself. This is the least important side of the course, but a few words about my background. My nationality, I'm from Finland, and currently I'm working in Hungary, in Budapest. I'm kind of freelance intellectual. Before that I worked in the Netherlands, in Norway, in Britain, and shorter times in other places as well. But now I am contracted as adjunct professor here at the Dania University, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm very honored. I got this invitation from a colleague of mine, and I understood that this is a very important course, because you will, as I talked to the dean yesterday about this, that you will learn things which you can use to develop the society where you live and work. This topic is also very uncontroversial. I know that there are several possible other courses, and I picked this one because I like the fact that public economics is much less controversial than, say, for example, a course about human rights. Okay, back to my background a little bit. I have a PhD degree in economic geography and planning. That's from Utrecht University, the Netherlands. I also have a master's degree in engineering from very, very long time ago. Not much about that. Let's go a little bit more into my teaching background. So, okay, for the last year or so I haven't done teaching, I've done other things. But before that I did roughly 12 years teaching, both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And also doctoral schools, summer schools. Sometimes I had classes as big as 250 students, and they were from really a wide variety of cultural, social, educational backgrounds. It wasn't always very easy when people are so different. I don't think there are many countries in the world where I haven't had students from. So what kind of courses have I been teaching? Mainly real estate in Liverpool John Moores University, both bachelor and master level, also in Portsmouth, University of Portsmouth, and in Oxford Brookes University. These are in Britain. I've done courses such as economics of built environment and real estate finance and economics. And also I've done courses in urban economics, economic geography at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, Trondheim, Norway. Also bachelor and master's courses. And also I've done a doctoral school in UMEF University in Bucharest, Romania. So these are the latest from 2016 till 2019. Like I said, I haven't done much teaching for a year, so it's really a nice thing that I can now do some teaching again. 12 years I have background, so this was just sort of the latest I've done. Many courses related to economics. Also, this course is related to economics. This is public economics. So what is public economics? This is going to be discussed very soon now, and then after that we move to economic globalization in the second session of this lesson, and then in the last one in this lesson we talk about supranational government. Okay, back to the course. The course is divided into 6 lessons of 45 minutes each, and these lessons are split into 3 sessions of 15 minutes each. And these lessons and sessions are followed by questions and answer lessons and sessions, also 3 15-minute sessions, so a 45-minute sequence. There's also text and audio materials and course guide for this course. And the last here for you to know about the structure is that when you complete this successfully, you learn to apply acquired economic analysis tools in various academic and practical fields. So both academic fields and practical fields. That's the aim of this course. A little bit more about the course. The important thing here is that, well, we live in a very globalized society. That okay, I'm from Finland, I'm now here in Switzerland, you are in Afghanistan, and we are now connected together, so this is a very globalized world. And also here are lots of non-economic issues covered. You will find out that when there is the word public, so not just economic, it very quickly relates to non-economic issues. You will see that along these six lessons very clearly. We'll start with globalization and we move towards localization. That's direction of discussion I have chosen. I think it's very relevant. We start with the global world as it is. The world is very global, as I said, and we move then to the nation state, and then we talk about the markets, a vivid depiction of how the markets work and how they are regulated, and then innovation, how to innovate new products on the market. And the very last element here is about sustainability. That is kind of a little bit extra, the economic sustainability, and it's because the world now very much relates to not just economics but also sustainability, so I thought that would be nice to combine that in the very end. Three basic topics. Well, you could say that here is from a point of view of say the theory of this course is first looking at the globalization contra localization strategy, which one fits better where and what is the difference, and how these two seemingly very different discussions, how they are related, globalization and localization. That's the first thing to know. The second theoretical idea here about the markets and how to regulate the market and policy making to improve the markets. And the third issue here, what I said about economic sustainability and innovation, how to innovate the public economy all the time. So we have the globalization, localization, we have the markets and how to regulate them, and then we have these little bit extra topics, economic sustainability, innovation, also important. More practical, if this was what I've said so far, very, very much on a general level, let's go and talk a little bit about the practical level. So we have 6 lessons, and then they have 3 15-minute sessions each. And this is the first one, and I'm now about to start talking about public economics, how to define it, and then the rest of this lesson I talk about the global economy. And the second lesson is about the markets and externalities. The third one, welfare economics. The fourth one, about the national economy. The fifth one will be about innovation and competition. And the sixth one, I come to a little bit more extra things. First about local public economics, and then there is also the sustainability issue there included. And the very last session is about conclusions. So, if you do not understand everything about this introduction and also about these 5 lessons, if you still don't understand it, when there is the last session about to start, I will really help you to understand the course topic at that stage. The concluding session, I will make a conclusion of everything we have gone through and hope that will make sense for you then when you study it by yourself. And all these lessons and sessions will have corresponding question and answers. Lessons and sessions as well will be done separately. I'm not going to talk about them now, other than I'm trying to tie into very relevant topics in them, and I really try to find some interesting things which would interest you also from a kind of general point of view. It's not meant to be a dry topic to study public economics. In principle, everything you need to know you get from my lessons here and the question and answers. But if you want to know a little bit more, there are some extra literature here. I picked here 6 different textbooks, and the first one in particular is very famous, Barr Nicholas, Economics of the Welfare State. Have a look at some of this if you want to know more about any given topic. If you think that okay, you need to know a little bit more than what I'm talking about this particular topic, then you look up some of these textbooks. It's not meant to be any of these books to be read from cover to cover, so not really a book, it's a supplementary literature. Okay, so definition of public economics. So we have two words, public and economic. So this is very, very simple. Start the public side. We have the society where we live. Okay, everyone understands that, so not more about that. The government. What is the government then? Government governs in the society. We have 4 different levels, at least. We have the local level, which is like a city or can be a village also maybe. We have then the regional level of governance, which can be province or a county or can be several countries nearby each other. It can be a very flexible level, this regional level. It's probably the least important of these levels. And the third one, national, is the most important level, the national level. Some people say the 4th level, supranational, is nowadays the most important level of government. I would disagree on that. I don't think that, say, United Nations or even EU is more important than any given country. Countries are still the basic of this idea of government. But there are several levels of them. And then also one more thing about this public side of economics. There is shift from government to something called governance. So that means that you invite also the private sector and the voluntary sector to the decision making together with the government. So that's about the public side of the public economics. Then the economic side, what is that then? Well, I understood that you already have courses in macroeconomics and microeconomics, so I have decided not to be too strictly tied to those two kind of classifications of economics. That okay, in a normal economics course you always say this is macroeconomics or microeconomics, but today, and I would say these go very much into each other, so better to just be aware that okay, we have both issues, but you can't always separate them. The public economics has a bigger divide here with normative versus positive economics. So if this macro-micro is not an issue, the normative positive definitely is a bigger issue. Normative economics, what does that mean? Well, that means that how things should be. Say, taxation, how should it be? And positive economics, how are things? How is the taxation? Is it too high or too low? Normative, how it should be. So, we have different ways of looking at economic activity. You have macro level, micro level, and then how things are and how things should be. The very short definition of everything here I've said, what is public economics? Answer, study of the role of the government in the economy. This has been, of course, a theoretical issue for a long, long time. Adam Smith, already 344 years ago, concluded this here in old English. I'm not going to read this all through. You see how the English language has changed in over 300, almost 400 years. But here's basically 3 things Adam Smith, one of the most famous classical economists, 3 things he picked up why we need public economics. So not just private economics, but public economics. The 3 things. First of all, protection. Protection from outside enemies. In the old times, yes, you were living in a community and you had to defend yourself against hostile tribes trying to attack you. So you needed a public sector to build walls around the city, for example, to protect you. Second thing, also within the walls, you needed people to protect themselves from each other, who are their enemies, people who want to rob you or mug you, steal your things, do harm to you. You need a police to protect you. That's the second reason. This is something we need to remember when we hear and read in the internet news about what's happening in, say, American cities all the time, and they talk about they should defund the police. What happens if you get rid of the police? You miss this point then. You don't have the protection within the community. And the third point, that not only protect yourself against intruders and protect yourself against criminals among yourself. But the third point, to arrange life there in your community. You can have a safe community, but if you don't have there some kind of infrastructure, say sewage system, running water, public say roads, whatever, common areas, you need those things too. Otherwise, it will not be a very good place to be. So 3 things you need, according to Adam Smith, for public economics to be significant. Lastly, about these economic theories, one more time, this macroeconomic top-down approach and microeconomic bottom-up approach, these are not very strict here in my course. Just note that the macroeconomic means we deal with entire industries and economies, and the microeconomic means that we deal with individual businesses, allocation of resources and prices. But most importantly, these are interdependent, complementary, and many overlapping issues, so not strictly tied to either one. In other courses it may be like that. In my course now they are mixed. But what is more important, that what the aims are of policy? Like I said a few minutes ago, this normative and positive economics, that's a different story you need to think about a little bit more than the micro-macro divide. So whatever public economics topic we are discussing, it is either about what should be done or what we actually do for a certain achievement. Taxation, positive question, what is the tax rate? Normative, what it should be. For example, how can we get there? That's again positive when you talk about methods. We come back to this at several stages during this course.